Okay, so I think I went to sleep quite early last night and then woke up at like 6 in the morning on the sofa, and then I went up to bed, and I just couldn't get back to sleep afterwards. So I started I went back on the computer. It's just so addictive. It really is. But anyway, um, first I was kind of thinking about why this world is such a disaster, and I've already explained it. I'm pretty sure I've said this loads of times, but my memory is shit, so I thought I would just say it again. But I think when I came here, the world was full of dinosaurs, and it obviously this was a planet that was very, very lost for a very long time. And the Matrix is programmed to make dinosaurs from the little microscopic insects that it creates, and it's just been over a very, very long period of time. It just kept making more and more souls that fit inside the dinosaurs. And I think there was something that tried to fix it and failed or something, and I don't know what happened, but it got lost. And instead of just making the same souls suffer over and over again, I think it just kept creating new souls. They would have loads and loads of lives, but the older it is, the more souls there are, and there was just so many souls. And I think what God does is they join up with a planet, and they can't kill souls because it would be kind of like a waste of everything that they've gone through and stuff. And so what they do is they just have to kind of like merge their spirit or merge their soul into that planet, and then they basically like juggle. Imagine someone with a million arms juggling lots of balls. The balls represent the souls, and they just keep going round. The problem is if they can't get rid of souls, and they can't mix souls with other souls, because that's not how a soul works. A soul works by the sort of memory of its individual life, hence it can't be joined with other souls unless it's like twins in a soul. But that's a different kind of joining. That's like a physical thing, not a spiritual thing. So but yeah, it just juggles these souls. Problem is the Matrix is programmed to be fair and to give every soul a fair chance. And I think there's some souls that just weren't ready or weren't big enough. But as all the other souls were, getting an opportunity to be human, more and more souls deserved to be a human, because they were living more intelligent lives. Some animals are very intelligent. It's not about the size, though. Make clear, it's not about the size of the animal, because an elephant is pretty dumb, a whale is pretty dumb too. But at the same time, I think a Roborowski hamster is more intelligent than a Syrian hamster, even though one is smaller. So it's not about the size, it's about the intelligence of the animal. And the souls keep going until they get more and more intelligent. And when they get more intelligent, they need to be a human. And these souls kept needing to have a life, to be fair, to have a life as a human. And the population grows really, really massively, or over the time it got bigger and bigger. And when a population is full of people who are living their first life as a human, they're more likely to adopt animal ways that they had in the past. Hence, they're more likely to be corrupt and not smart, and not do the right things, and not be able to feel other people's feelings. Hence, not care if they hurt them. Or the more intelligent a person is shouldn't be about their size or their age. It should be about how they think and how they can connect with others and how they can relate to others. And I feel like people who can relate more to others are people who've had more lives, because you have experienced those sort of things in your soul. And even though you don't remember it, because your soul is attached to a brain that only has memory of something that you've gone through in your current life, that's what happens. And I think what was happening is that I wanted to, just focus on a small number of souls and just reincarnate those souls. But I feel like the Matrix wasn't allowing that to happen, because it kept saying, we need to give all the souls a fair chance. We need to all rise them up together, so everyone would have one life. And then occasionally, if there was someone that I really liked, I managed to get them to have two lives, and whilst other people were still having one life. And then then we sort of went up to the next level, where some people were having three lives. The ones that I like most were having three lives, and then the rest were there was all these other ones that still needed to have a chance. And I feel like that's kind of what happened over the timeline, only it got more and more complicated just because there were so many people here. And I don't like the fact that the population is as big as it is, and there has been a lot of wars, but I feel like if I really wanted to make there less people, I could have done that. I'm pretty sure the world is evil enough for there to be even more wars in the past, but I feel like that couldn't happen, because the Matrix still wanted to give every soul a new chance. And because there were just so many souls in this place, there had to be a lot of people here to give every soul an opportunity to have it. And I think something like that. But I feel like there's going to be a change that's coming where there will be less people, and the less, it will be more manageable. And I will, but because the difference between the good and bad is now far more obvious, I feel like I will be able to focus on the more intelligent, or the ones that make the righter decisions. I feel like there's loads of people that are making right decisions or bad. Technically, there's right and wrong and wrong and right, so it's not really me that does it. But I feel like it's not going to be a case of, if there's less people, then you'll have to wait longer before you get another life. I don't think that. I think it had to be that way just because, if you look at a bunch of penguins, they all look exactly the same. So how, if you're to if you had imagine you had like 100 penguins and you knew they were all going to die, and you had to choose some to have 2 or 3 or 4 lives, it's impossible. They all look exactly the same. For some reason, they seem to recognize who. I've seen a documentary about this. It's actually quite amazing. They can go away for months and months at a time, and they can come back and actually remember their partner. And it's just like, they all look the same. How could they do that? I don't know. And I feel like God is in that way, feels that way. Definitely so, more so about the dinosaurs. They all look exactly the same. Well, they don't to you. They're different sizes and stuff, but the intelligence of a soul is not determined by the size of the animal. It's determined by how they think. And well, all animals hunt, want sex, and have babies. And so how are you supposed to know the difference? And I feel like whatever's happened in this first age, there was loads and loads of souls that needed this opportunity to be tested. Just like, so imagine there's 8 billion penguins, and you need to work out which of the penguins are the leaders, which of the penguins are the smarter ones, which of the penguins that are going to die and have another life and remember that they were a penguin, or remember that they were a penguin. You could probably do that. Penguins are supposed to go away and remember their partner, so you test them by saying, hey, we're going to kill all these penguins, and then we're going to bring them back to life as penguins and see which penguins can remember which penguins that they had in their past life. I'm sure there's some sort of test. I would definitely love to study that, but I can't, because I'm a human and I don't know. I can't even recognize any penguins, but I'm sure there's like, you can look into a person's soul and you can find some sort of DNA code, which is just a source of probably ones and nos like everything else. But yeah, and then you can work out which penguins have actually managed to find their same partner. And I feel like that would be a really good way to tell the difference between the intelligent pup. But yeah, anyway, that's just an example. But I think with the age that's happened now, that's a sort of similar thing that happened. God has. Oh, it's still recording. It looked like it stopped recording. Sometimes I run out of battery memory, and then it just cuts off, but it's still recording. But yeah, what is it? So yeah, I feel like God does that, but only to humans. And this whole age is about testing people. It's not necessarily about seeing which ones are good and which ones are bad. It's more about seeing which ones can hear God, or which ones can seek a partner, or truth, or there's a huge amount of things, because technically, death and even murder is part of everything. Even as a god, murder will always be something that a god would have to do. And therefore, if you also encourage suicide or encourage something, it's not seen as murder if it's a person's choice. And okay, sometimes it's not going to be a person's choice, but because if there's too many people and so many people aren't willing to go, well, then it's going to be by force. If penguins are dying all the time, and it's sad, and I don't want that, because it's the temperature is rising, and I don't want that. But at the same time, I want humans to be able to have things like cars and stuff, and so temperature's dying and penguins dying. I mean, is that God's fault? Are you saying that God is killing? I mean, am I saying that God is killing penguins because she's allowing humans to have cars and things like this? I mean, maybe that's the truth, and therefore God is always going to be a form of murderer. It's not necessarily. It's complicated, but yeah, you're not bad if you're a murderer. Basically, it's the intent or reasons behind what you do. That is the thing that makes a person bad or not. And but yeah, it is very complicated, and I don't know. But I've been naming the male ones. I wasn't going to do this the other day, but I kind of feel like, I don't know. I feel like I had to because I saw Future, and I don't know. But every time I hear Future, I always think, oh, he's obviously about telling the future. And then I listen to some of his. I haven't actually listened to any of the male songs. I've not been going through the male songs. I've just been kind of doing it off memory. I feel like I put more focus onto the women because I relate a lot more to them, so I feel like I need to be far more accurate, whereas I feel like guys mostly just represent man, hence if I don't have to be so fussy with whether or not they're telling the truth or not, because I do feel like most of them just represent man, and I'm happy, and I will be saying that if I go onto a show that I think most males will represent man. Because of that, I feel like there'll be two mixed messages: me giving them angel names, and also me saying that they represent man. So therefore, if there's inaccuracies to the title, then I don't think it really matters. But yeah, I think William should be Angel of Hope, just because he kind of gives me hope. But then sometimes I look at it and think, why? There's one or two songs, or quite a few songs, and also I didn't even like his work in the past, and then he changed, and I really did like him, and then I feel like he kind of unchanged again because he blocked me, and then I was like, what's going on? And anyway, it's still hope, although I also tell people that I think this world is a bit hopeless. So I don't know, there's a whole bunch of mixed messages there, but whatever, it is what it is. Will.i.am reminds me of a robot, so Angel of the Matrix kind of makes sense because that's everyone reminds me of robots, but more so him than anyone else. And well, the Matrix is a really big thing, and to be an angel of it, well, that's empowering him. So Ed Sheeran, well, he represents depression, obviously, so I'm not going to call it that. I'm just going to thought. I was thinking deep thoughts, but I don't actually think he represents deep thoughts. I mean, I think if you represented deep thoughts, you would actually be quite intelligent, and I'd want you to survive. So I think just thoughts. I could say random thoughts, but that probably put him down. So yeah, just thoughts. It is Angel of Thought. And David, okay, Angel of Music Production. I've already, that's basically just the truth. And Future, it's Angel of the Future or Past, because I don't know, there's all sorts of messages in the songs, and I haven't actually listened to any of them, and I don't really know. I don't really care. Sometimes people, whatever, I'll just leave it at that. And Weekend, well, he kind of represents the weekend, but I can't call the weekend. I mean, technically that I'm opposites, whatever. If something's weak, it can be seen as strength too. There's strength and weaknesses and everything. So really, he's like strength, the angel of strength and weakness. But because technically you have to be strong to kill yourself, and therefore there's strength in that. I mean, I wish I had the strength to kill myself, but I just don't feel like it's meant to be. And anyway, but yeah, I'll call him Angel of Strength. I don't care if people don't believe that, doesn't matter. And Eminem reminds me of martial law, and therefore just calling him Angel of the Law kind of makes sense, even though that again is also kind of a weird name, because I'm pretty sure most of his songs are about everything terrible, but at the same time, people who agree with him probably need martial law, so they need him definitely. And then there's Marilyn Manson, who I kind of think maybe Angel of Death, because that's how he portrays himself. He's like the image of the Angel of Death, but I don't actually think he's the image of Angel of Death. What I think Emma Bunton really is the Angel of Death, but people would expect the Angel of Death to come out like Marilyn Manson, so I'm going to call him the Angel of Death when really I don't know. He just, I think he represents kind of the Antichrist, or the people. I don't know. I think it's the atheists who the atheists who say they hate God. There's loads of people that call themselves the Antichrist because they say they hate God. And okay, they hate the Christian God, which is fine. But at the end of the day, they also hate God as well, because they've read the Bible, they don't believe that God, and then they've instead turned against that God, and instead of just seeing that Bible or that God as just a bunch of lies, they say they hate God and want nothing to do with God, and it's just like, oh, actually I am God, and that is just my deception, but you don't know who I am. But hey, if I'm actually Emma Bunton, then hey, you'll love the Angel of Death. So I like that twist to it. Imagine Dragons is, well, definitely the angel of the dragon. The Bible says that at the end of the age, the dragon's going to come. I said probably in the past that it might be Beyonce, but technically if Beyonce represents the leader of all these angels, then yeah, she can be that dragon, but really I think it should be the dragon or the beast system, the dragon system. But yeah, believe. And Maroon 5, he kind of represents the good side of Martin, so just the angel of my lovers. I think lovers definitely rather than lover, because I no longer like Martin. But yeah, but really he's not chasing after me. He's chasing after something older or something that's bigger and better than me, whilst pretending to love me. But anyway, Blake, Angel of the Sea, and that's as far as my list has gone, but I think it's going to get a lot longer. I'm putting it up on my website, although when I give out some flyers in a week's time, I'm probably going to change it because I don't actually want to reveal all this to people I hand my flyers out to. But anyway,